I actually had to say good morning, but ended up saying good afternoon, so apologize for the delay. In fact, I just came back from Delhi last night and I came in very, very late. So that's probably the cascading effect which has sort of caused this delay. My apologies for being late, firstly. Secondly, I'd like to congratulate the TCEI, Ms. Rakhi Kankaria, Suraj Thakur, and our own Suraj Singh Saab and Neeraj Thakur Saab, sorry, and TSIIC Vice Chairman, Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, sorry, Dr. Jayesh Ranjan, and all my friends from the media as well, and all the other organizations such as Telangana Event Managers Association, Telangana Sound Light Video Association, Telangana Facilitators Association, Telangana Event Caterers Association, Telangana Event Venues Association, and the Telangana Entertainers Association. All of you, congratulations. This is a big first step and I congratulate one and all. मैं आते ही मैं कह रहा था कि नॉर्मली आप लोग किसी और के इवेंट करते हो, बट आज आपका इवेंट था तो आपने थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही बवाल मचा दिया क्योंकि the setting is a little too nice. I mean, I wish you guys do this all the time. Whenever you do somebody else's event as well, I hope you do it as well. यहाँ पे स्मोक इफेक्ट है, यहाँ पे लाइट्स है, यहाँ पे बहुत सारे ऐसी चीज़ें जो बाकी जगह देखने को नहीं मिलते. तो अच्छा लग रहा है, बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. ऐसे लग रहा है जैसे कि कोई बहुत बड़ी मूवी फंक्शन पे आए हैं. बट वेरी वेरी नाइस, वेरी वेरी ग्लैड. फर्स्टली आई एम हैप्पी टू नोट दैट दिस इज द फर्स्ट ऑफ इट्स काइंड इन इंडिया. सो एज द यंगेस्ट स्टेट इन द इंडियन यूनियन, I am very, very happy that we've actually been able to create and generate that sort of curiosity that you actually came up and floated what is now called the Telangana Chamber of Events Industry. So wonderful initiative. Definitely this will help us all, both the government, both the law enforcement, both the regulatory structures that we have here in the form of the GHMC or in the form of our law and order mechanism. It will definitely help us in reaching out to one particular body because there are issues. I think as Neeraj Thakur was saying, there are issues that need to be sorted out. And when you have a dedicated body which represents all of you, I think that it's easier, the communication is a lot easier. Because what happens typically is, as we all know, when any unorganized sector, especially when it's trying to do something, especially up until yesterday, you guys were unorganized, each of you were doing your own thing. So when you had a problem, you didn't know how to reach to the government or talk to the government. But now this actually gives you a fantastic platform in reaching out to the government, in getting things done, in talking about common issues, in talking about common problems. And even for the government, it actually helps because then we can have one point of contact and we can reach out to you guys as well. As we all know, today we have countries and cities thriving on tourism. In fact, if you look at countries such as Singapore, if you look at countries such as Malaysia, if you look at countries such as China, of course, China as well, in fact, a lot of countries these days are extremely dependent in tourism, extremely dependent on hospitality and related industries. So as a country, we still have a long way to go. In fact, India as a country has a long way to go, and Telangana as a state also has a long way to go. I have been a big proponent, I have been a big believer in this theory that for a city to grow, for a city to truly be called international, in the sense of having an international fabric, international character, I think you need more and more events happening in any city. Hyderabad just can't be about, a culture, heritage, or, IT or biotechnology. It has to be a combination of everything. Because when you actually go out, like our Chief Minister did a few days ago, he went out to Singapore and Malaysia, and he was inviting all of these investors to come and participate in our growth story. What do people look for when actually, they want to set shop in a new city or a new country or a new state? They would look for things beyond, things above and beyond. The regulars like land allotments, tax concessions, human resources. They would also want a lifestyle for their employees. They would also want a certain sense of cosmopolitanness. So that's exactly why I've been propagating this theory that we need more and more events happening in Hyderabad, and that's when we thought of combining the various initiatives across different platforms available. Tourism is doing its own thing, information technology is doing its own thing, the industries department is doing its own thing, and there are several other organizations such as GHMC, HMDA, Culture and Heritage, various departments doing their own things. So we brought all of that under one umbrella, and we started off what is called, as was mentioned earlier, an initiative called Happening Hyderabad, with the help of a lot of different departments and with some wonderful help from various NGOs and also private organizations. All in all, the effort was to ensure that we have more events happening in Hyderabad. Initially, we thought, if we could do one big event every week, that would be great. So we started calling it 52 weeks and 52 events. But then what ended up happening, as Jayesh Saab was just saying, is now we have a problem of trying to accommodate way too many events. In fact, I think we are at 157, I think, at this point in time. We have a calendar with about 157 events lined up, and we have requests coming in every single day to accommodate more and more and more events. So I think it's a wonderful thing. I'm not fretting the fact that, it has grown from 52 to 157. In fact, I'll be super excited if it actually grows to 300 or 300 odd, an event every single day. We have a lot of people have this misconception that events are only, marriages, birthdays, functions, etc. No, that's not what it is. In today's world, events, because I remember when I was working for an international company based out of US, when we had our own company's regional meeting, I flew all the way to Singapore and Malaysia to a golf resort there because that was the only thing that they could think of. I actually volunteered our own city of Hyderabad. I said, why can't we host it here? They said, you guys don't have many great facilities. The facilities, the sort of golf courses, the sort of facilities, the sort of conferencing options that there are in other cities, you guys don't have it. So in today's world, where a company or an organization could be based anywhere out in this world, if you make Hyderabad this fantastic destination where you have a chamber of events industry attending or catering to the needs and a supportive government with good infrastructure, I think you can bring really truly global events happening in Hyderabad. In fact, in that direction, I've already started working with a few very popular franchisees as well. In fact, I'm happy to let you know that the Indian Badminton League has reached out yesterday saying we want to be a part of Happening Hyderabad initiative as well. We want you to include our event in the Happening Hyderabad initiative. So things like this. Now we have the Kabaddi League also, functioning. So there are so many sporting events happening. There are also so many educational conferences. There are other cultural activities happening. In fact, interestingly enough, yesterday we had a very good meeting with a big event organizing company, which is Pan India or Pan, I think it's now across the world as well. They conduct an annual film event, a big event across the world. Now they have decided to do their South edition, the Southern edition for all the 5 states that we have in the Southern India. Now they have sought out to us because they saw this Happening Hyderabad initiative. They reached out to us saying we would want Hyderabad to be the host for the next 3 years for this Southern event. So this is a sort of curiosity, this is a sort of enthusiasm we've been able to generate in the last 70 days of being around. I'm very sure that with now TCEI coming into play as well, I'm very confident, very sure that Hyderabad certainly will be a name to reckon with. As it is, we are a force to reckon with in India as far as MICE goes, meetings, incentives, conferences and events. But now with this government's impetus, with this government's push, I think I'm very confident, and with TCEI's advent as well, I'm very confident that we'll leapfrog and we'll definitely get more and more global events. And in this context, I wanted to make a couple of things. I wanted to address a couple of issues that were raised by Neeraj Thakur. He said, we want Hyderabad to be a event-friendly city, event-friendly government, event-friendly police department. I'm happy to let you know that our police force, in fact, has received the highest amount of attention from the new Chief Minister. And ever since this government has come into being, we've focused excessively on policing, we've focused excessively on the law and order machinery here. We focused on making them smart, making them people-friendly. We've also started giving them, because we know when policemen don't get a day off in a long time, they tend to get cranky as well. So we started giving them weekly offs. We started upgrading their vehicles. Now they have swanky vehicles. You must have seen them in Hyderabad. So we started doing a lot of things for the police department, and I assure you one thing, if you guys would come forward, we'll definitely have a one-on-one meeting. I'll organize a one-on-one meeting with the police department, with both Hyderabad, CP Hyderabad and CP Cyberabad as well. We'll ensure that you have a meeting. We'll ensure that you reach some certain understanding on certain areas, because there are situations where the police even has to clamp down a bit. For example, we have Ganesh Chaturthi coming up now, and if you let people go crazy, you'll have DJs being played all night. So there are areas where where police really has to do its own job. So we can reach an understanding with the police department. I'm sure now that you are organized as an entity, I'm sure that will be possible, and we'll ensure that there is a joint meeting between the police department and yourself, and we'll reach some sort of middle ground in terms of what you want and in terms of what they can give you. And the second thing is the single window clearance. Happy to do that, no issues at all. I'll talk to both GHMC and HMDA. We'll get you a single window clearance so that all of your events and clearances can happen from one single location. That should not be a big problem. As far as double taxation goes, in fact, we are looking for more sources of revenue. So no way am I going to tell you that, we'll cut down on VAT. That's not my job here. But I'll ensure one thing. I'll ensure that you make more money, because more events you have happening in Hyderabad, you'll make more money, and so at least that way I can help you out in becoming richer. And I hope that answered your question. But as you would understand, logically speaking, see, service tax is something that is levied by the union government, as you rightly mentioned, and what the states actually levy is the value-added tax. So therefore, yes, it is important that we take a relook at it. But as I said, it's a question of chicken or egg. As we start enhancing, as we start improving on the number of events, then maybe the state government actually can look at the possibility of, cutting down on the VAT. But right now, I can't make any firm commitments. But definitely, I can ensure that, as I said, you guys become more and more rich. The event city concept that you guys had mentioned, I'm happy to let you know that we are actually coming up. In fact, Jayesh Ranjan has been spearheading this proposal. We're actually coming up with some wonderful initiatives on the tourism front, and one of which, tourism and culture, one of which is something called Hyderabad Habitat Center. It will be a hub for a lot of events. It will be a hub and hotbed for a lot of wonderful events in this city. It is a project that is being conceived now. I think this Chief Minister will announce it with a cost outlay of over 100 crores. We will be probably developing it in the western part of Hyderabad. Somewhere in Khanamit is where I would presume, very near to the high-tech city, so that you could have a lot more conferences, a lot more opportunities. Hyderabad Habitat Center, the idea is this. Hyderabad Habitat Center is a place where we would like to see the culture, the heritage, the theatre groups of Hyderabad participate, more and more events such as this happen, more and more events for the IT industry to happen there as well, more and more events of the tourism industry to happen there as well. It could be a hotbed, it could be a hub of culture and arts and the literature, whatever festivals that we have today in various venues across Hyderabad, we can all bring them under one roof and supported by the government, funded by the government as well. Probably we haven't really completely come to a total understanding on how we are going to execute it, but this will be done with a cost outlay of about 100 crores, and this will come into being very, very soon. So hopefully that answers your question indirectly about an event city. As you all know, our Chief Minister has been focused on also decongesting the city of Hyderabad. He's been talking about decongesting Hyderabad by virtue of building various clusters of growth opportunities across the city, around the city. He's been talking about a cinema city towards Rachakonda. He's been talking about a sports city. He's also been talking about a pharma city. He's also been talking about an education city. He's been talking about a chemical city. So these are all areas of growth and wonderful opportunities that present and that enhance more and more events happening in Hyderabad as well. So all in all, I'm very, very happy to be here. Sorry that I'm late, but I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very glad that you guys are now organized and you actually have given us an opportunity to interact with you as a forum. And going forward, let's keep the dialogue going, let's keep the ball rolling. I'm very, very confident with your help and with your guidance. I'm sure Hyderabad will certainly become a happening city, and in days to come, it will truly emerge as an international city. Once again, congratulations and thank you very much.